Matagami River, that's so far north that the Matagami River flows through Timmins into the Arctic watershed. Now that is north. From Timmins, she moved to Sarnia here, where we lived for 2 years. Then we moved down to Corunna for our high school period. Then to London, Ontario.
The Sunshine Station, the heart of the nation.
Is Corunna. You got it.
Really?
Yes.
London, Ontario, where she became a nurse and made friends with the young lady sitting right beside her, Mary Lou Petty, Gleason, and Marie Coyle, and they've been close friends ever since. And that's a long time ago. That would have been, that friendship began back in the early 60s. Right about that?
50s, I was gonna say.
50s, okay. Yeah.
We were 2 at the time.
And now you're 22.
Okay, after London, where did you go from there? As a nurse?
Vancouver.
Vancouver, okay. If I'm not mistaken, that's where she met her husband, in Vancouver, who for all those years just lived about 10 miles from here in Petrolia. But she had to go to Vancouver to meet her husband. How about that? Okay, Vancouver. I presume you were married shortly after Vancouver, and it's already pretty well traveled. but that was just the beginning, because after Vancouver, well, let's pick it up there. She's married now, and presumably that's when the children started coming. Jody, you're the oldest. You're the oldest. Where were you born?
Calgary.
Calgary, Alberta. So she must have been in Calgary.
Overnight.
Mary Lou, where were you born?
Deep River.
Deep River, Ontario. On the Ottawa River. About 100 miles north of Ottawa, I believe. And Ottawa is the second coldest, a little bit of trivia here, the second coldest capital in the world. So you can imagine there must have been a lot of cold winter nights up in Deep River. Okay, Paul.
Sudbury.
Born in Sudbury.
Wow, lucky you.
Where is that? Where is it?
I was born in Sudbury.
Lucky you.
Same hospital, Claudia.
Exactly. Possibly the same room.
The nickel capital of the world, Sudbury, Ontario. Okay. Matthew, where were you born? Where are you?
Montréal, Québec, Canada.
Montreal.
Monsieur.
Okay. What project was you planning doing?
No idea.
Head office.
Okay, who's left?
Mark.
Mark.
Little Mark.
Where were you born?
Montreal.
Okay.
We were there 2 nights.
So as we can see, she's already well traveled. But there was much. She became an American not too long after that, I think. Americanized, sorry.
Then up to Churchill Falls.
Churchill Falls.
Churchill Falls, my God. Yeah, we'll talk about the northern Canada. Churchill Falls, if I'm not mistaken, is even further north.
750 miles northeast of Montreal.
How many hundred miles?
750.
750 miles northeast
Really
of
great.
Montreal.
Yeah.
And that's in Labrador, of all places. Okay.
Yeah. Lots of stories up there.
And
It was awesome.
And that's just the beginning, really, of your construction company travels. Where did you go after Churchill Falls?
Coloma, Michigan. You went
Which
to
is,
Montreal.
where is that?
That's
That's down near
Kalamazoo.
Benton Harbor, okay.
You're waiting for Clark was a big, yeah, oh, but that was,
Then Churchill Falls, then Coloma, then Midland, Michigan.
Midland, Michigan, we spent about 10 years, I believe, eh? That about right?
yep.
There was a period in Colorado Springs,
No,
too.
Saudi Arabia.
Yanbu, Saudi Arabia. Not a good place for a woman. Right? Okay.
Yeah, and I tell you, if you've heard,
She arrived at my door when we lived in, well, we were living in London, and the doorbell rang, and I went to the door, and here's this Muslim woman all done up, and I didn't know who it was, and it was this lady.
and you know, Margot could tell stories, and if any of you spent any time, which all of you have, you know Margot's stories, and if all the stories are true that she's told about her time in Saudi Arabia, I'm surprised that they let her out of the country.
Was it
Definitely a storyteller.
What I remember about her stories from Yanbu, that she discovered Hong Kong
Right.
while she was living in Yanbu. And maybe that's where you became addicted to shopping. Shopaholic, am I right? About that?
I think it was long before that.
How many trips to Hong Kong did you make while you were living in?
Two.
Two. And you lived in Yanbu for how many years? 2 years? 3 years. Okay, not bad. Well, as everybody knows, Margot is a shopaholic. And I'm amazed that we somehow managed to keep her here today, because this is Black Friday.
Mother, you go every year, Black Friday for shopping.
Buffalo.
Yeah, they're open till midnight.
You're gonna have to step up your game. There's Black Thursday now as well.
Right. I was too busy cooking yesterday.
Pat's got you all set up on your iPad, and now you're never going to have to leave the house, because all you have to do is log on to the internet, and you can shop everything, and they deliver right to the house.
But I like to go.
Wow. I don't know.
It's time for me to confess something that's been bothering me all my life.
Uh-oh.
And as everybody knows, Margot's a great storyteller. So great that I suspect that sometimes you have to divide by 10 to get the reality of her stories. But the point let me amend that a little bit. Her stories are exciting and adventurous and a treat to hear. And one of her great stories, I'm told from just about everybody I talked to, is how bad I was as a brother. I'm surprised for the things that she claims that I did to her. These days I would be in jail, I think. And that's something I've had to, but I want to try to explain what happened. We lived in Timmins at the time when I was bad. I was at my worst, I guess, in Timmins, eh? Timmins, she's a depression baby, I'm a depression baby. Back 1931, 1934, our family had moved up to Timmins, penniless, and we lived in a boarding house for minors. And believe it or not, we survived by our mother running a boarding house. So consider that environment, Can you imagine a more macho environment than that? So if I didn't tease my sister or act like a tough guy, I would be completely out of place up there. So Mark, I want to make up for that right now.
How? Shopping tonight.
In front of all these witnesses, kiss you.
I forgive you.
Anyway, you've had a wonderful life, Mark, and I like to think that by teasing you and being so tough on you, that made you the strong person that you have become. So try to change your story a little bit, the way I'm trying to get off the hook, be a bad boy. Anyway, Mark, you've had a wonderful life, you've got a wonderful family, and they're all here. And I entreat you all to talk to Margot about how she's a great storyteller, and she can tell you how bad I was, and her her shopping expeditions are something to behold. And congratulations for all your achievements and your wonderful family.
Well, thank you, Ron, and I have to admit, I'm totally shocked by all this. And I can't thank you all enough for coming. And I forgive you all for coming. I had no idea. Thank you, thank you. You've all been great.
Yeah, Margot, your three sons really deserve the credit because they're the ones that hatched up this cockamamie idea.
You mean they've all finally matured?
But Jody and Mary Lou were trying to protect you, and they said, nope, that's not what we're gonna do. Margot wouldn't want it. We actually called Mary Lou Gleason, and she verified and said, nope. Margot specifically said no party. So the girls tried to put their foot down, but you see, that didn't work, right? So the boys were pretty persistent, Mark, Paul, and Matt, and I guess you didn't turn around and walk out, so I guess they were right. So, yeah, nice job, guys.
Whoa.
Now it's time to start dancing.
Clear the table.
That's right.
Get up on the table, Margaret, and start dancing.
Well done, Ron.